Last time we talked about using adjectives and adverbs to make comparisons. What I want to talk about this time is some errors that are sometimes made. So we're going to talk about problems with comparisons. Because what happens a lot of times is when people are using modifiers to compare things, there's two main errors that are made. Let's talk about these errors. The first one is called a double comparison. So let's explain how that works. You don't want to use both ER and more to form a comparative. You don't want to use both EST and most to form a superlative, because double comparisons are always incorrect. Let's take a look at some examples. Now here is the non-standard, or the wrong way to do this. Here's our first sentence. The actor's eyes were more yellower than a wolf's. Second example, he wears the most hairiest makeup I've ever seen. So here we have an example of a double comparison in both the comparative and the superlative forms. Let's take a look at how these can be fixed. So here's the standard, or the correct version of our comparative sentence. The actor's eyes were yellower than a wolf's. We don't need the word more and the suffix ER. Here's our other example. He wears the hairiest makeup I've ever seen. Again, we can take out the most because we're using EST already. Don't use both. Those are never, ever correct. So now let's talk about an illogical comparison. It's a little bit different than a double comparison, but we still need to understand what it is and how to fix it. When you're comparing something that's part of a larger group to the group itself, you want to use other or else so that you avoid an illogical comparison. Let's take a look at an example. Now in this example, what the writer meant to do is compare werewolves to other monsters. Here's what this person wrote. I think a werewolf is more mysterious than any monster. Now that's illogical. Let's look at how to fix this. Now, here's what should have happened. The werewolf is a kind of monster, so the writer should have written the sentence in this way. I think a werewolf is more mysterious than any other monster. Putting the word other in there means we're comparing one kind of monster to all monsters. We're comparing one part of the group, the monster group, comparing werewolves, to the large group that includes all monsters. So that's what an illogical comparison would be, and that's how to fix one. Now, here's why this is important. When you're making correct comparisons, you help the reader understand what you're comparing and to what degree. And like I keep saying, this makes a difference because your writing will be better, it'll be more easily understood, and people will enjoy it a lot more.